Hello YouTube, this is Fishing South Mississippi here. I'm going to be showing you what I use for brim fishing, my brim setup with a cork. What you always need a pair of pliers for fishing no matter what kind of fishing you're doing. And a tackle box, and of course you need a pole. I'm going to show you the supplies and everything and how to set it up. So, enjoy. So before we actually tie everything on a line, I'm going to show you your corks, your hooks, and your sinkers. That's the three things you'll need. It's optional, you can use the swivel. I'll show you one of those. Well, yeah, I'll do it right now. Swivel with a clip. I always use these if I'm fishing with a not spin cast, it's bail casting reel, that's what it's called. But first, we'll start off on the hook. And this is not my favorite type, but it's a great hook. I love the offset about it, but my favorite type is offset, and it has little barbs right here. It's a bait holder, so if you're fishing with live bait like a cork, you should be using, unless you're using a popping cork. But with the bait holder, the crickets can't kick off or scoot off or whatever. But there's also just a regular hook, no offset. These come with all Zebco, or not all Zebco, but these are what come in the Zebco kits. And then you have a split shot. And this one's a little bit other than the smaller one that I use. This one I use for when I'm fishing on bottom, or when the water's moving, like in a creek or something. And this one I use just ponds or fishing with cork. It's a little bit smaller. Corks, I don't really like these. Brown, they're okay, but they take the line and the line's not straight. It's curved like that around the cork. And when a big fish, that cork's not going to hold up. From experienced catfish especially, they'll pop it out like that, and that line will straighten up, especially when you get a big hit. So I like to use these weighted corks or bobbers, whatever you want to call them. They're a little more expensive, 50 cents more, but heck, easier, you catch more fish if you got a little weight at the bottom to keep it from. But same thing as that other bobber, except that one takes the line like this one takes the line like that, so it's not as curved. And now I'm going to be showing you how to rig up a fishing pole for brim fishing. What you're going to need for rigging up your pole is, I take about 2 foot of line from the tip of the pole. That'll give you enough line to work with, or you can get more, it doesn't really matter. In fact, I don't have enough right here. So, but you'll need some line, a knife, pliers, a cork, a sinker, and a hook. I always start with your hook and the knot I'm going to tie. It's called the San Diego Jam. But take it and you put that line through the eye of the hook, and you take the line, and you come up like that. And then I like to put the hook under my knee, because what you do is you take the line when it's doubled and you wrap it all the way down to the hook. You wrap it all the way, you don't twist the hook, you wrap it around the two pieces of the two line. This is one of the strongest fishing knots I've ever used. 3 or 4 times for a good brim. I always do it 6. Then you should have a big loop at the bottom. You take your line, go through there. Then you should have a big loop at the top. You go through there. Let me get it through there. Always moisten your knot. It'll slide down easier. You pull that top tight. You pull it tight to the hook. Trim the excess. Get it. Careful not to cut your main line, just the excess. That's what it should look like. And then you take your sinker and you take your knife. You stick your sinker on your knife and you wiggle it to where it opens up. 4 to 6 inches above your hook is a good spot for your sinker. Doesn't really matter between that span. But whenever you get it on there, smush it together with your fingers so it won't fall off when you get your pliers. You take your pliers and you just tighten it. Just mush it down. And then where you put your cork is really important. Hot day in midsummer, I'd put it about either really deep or really shallow. Because they're either going to be on top feeding or on bottom resting. But in the spring, I'd put it about a foot above your hook. Remember, weighted side always down. Oh crap. Make sure that goes back into that hole to where it's flush with the cork. And then you take it to the top. Do the same exact thing. And there you have it. There's your setup. And I always use a Zebco for brim and catfish, but for bass I use a bill casting rod. I use a Zebco 33 just in case I do hook up to a catfish whenever I'm brim fishing. A Zebco 11 will be great for just brim, or 22 would be pretty good too. I wouldn't go above a 33 for brim fishing because 202 and stuff like that. 404 and 808. 808 is great for just big catfish, but they're hard to cast with light tackle. But for brim fishing, touch a drag, pretty low down, and use your bait alarm whenever if you have a Zebco, whenever you got your bait out there. Thank you for watching. Hope you catch a lot of fish. Tight lines.